The Dragon Ball Z game that I have put the most hours in, unashamedly admitting it, Budokai 2. Not to be confused with Budokai Tenkaichi, this is the 2D fighter Budokai Original Part 2. This game is hated by the casual fans, those DBZ players who only want to consume the story and have flashy cutscenes. Those players, they hate this game. Me, however, an intellectual, love what they did in the story mode. They took what we already knew, they placed it in a board game, and they made it feel like a cozy game of Monopoly with your family. What they took away from us in cutscenes, they added in player interaction. Every single player that you think would talk to every single enemy happens here in this game. And for someone who's already played the story 3 times before this, somebody who's already watched the anime countless repetitive times, this was a refreshing, innovative way to explore the story mode. It gave you so much depth without overbloating the production value in cutscenes, which I guess is why casual players don't like it. Because to most people, without the flash, without the graphics, it feels lazy. But to someone who's already explored this story in many other ways, this feels refreshing and innovative. It is basically taking the story mode and turning it into a gameplay element. And to me, that's worth sacrificing the cutscenes in order to experience actual interaction in the story. Because it's not only cutscene and then you fight, cutscene and then you fight. It is you manipulate the moves, you manipulate who you fight. I'm 2 minutes in and I've only talked about the story mode. This game has so much depth to it. The combat system, it has a card where you input your skills, and the more higher experience your skill is, the more slots it fills up in that card. It is super in depth. It kind of gives it that RPG element of I'm grinding to make this character better, until you grind so much that you get a skill called Breakthrough that gives you all the skills that player can ever have. When I was a kid, I never took advantage of this mechanic. I didn't even know it existed. I just played every player at base, or I put every move that I thought every player should have. So like Goku with Kamehameha, Vegeta with Final Flash. I didn't explore this until now. I'm telling you this now, you can get lost with your main character just by finding which skill works best with his moveset. Another mode we had returning was the tournaments, the regular Tenkaichi tournaments, and of course the Cell game tournaments. At this point, it was a fighting game. It was known that this should be a staple in every Budokai game. But man, seeing this setup takes me back to the 2000s, where me and my brother would have to randomize our player selection and play or meet each other at the finals. It gives you the chance to explore different characters, and it also gives you the chance to fight other people that aren't just you and your family or friend, because you kind of get accustomed to their playing style. Like I said, these 2 game modes should be common sense because it's a fighting game, and what other way would you experience fighting other than a tournament? So even as a designer mindset, you kind of felt like, yes, this makes sense. However, there was 2 other modes that came with this game, and I want you guys to stop right there and just think, look how much content a game in the 2000s had compared to even games today. Okay, shot in the dark, I know I'm known as a Nintendo hater, but look at Mario Kart World. Look at how much content that they gave us. They gave us an open world, they gave us a new rail grinding mechanic, and of course they gave us the Knockout Tour. 3 things, and from those 3 things, I'm counting rail grinding mechanic as a new mode. This is how pathetic that they became. Because look at all the things that were promised to us. Look at how they advertised, how they marketed this game. And they pushed it to $80. Remember that. They advertised better frame rates, they advertised better graphics, they advertised better world, and they advertised a bigger roster to play with. What all those things have in common is that they do not matter to the fun of the game. They add maybe 1% to the experience of it. Does everyone see where I'm going with this? Does everyone see why I'm so upset about Nintendo's downfall? About the whole modern gaming in general? When I mean that everything is declining in quality, I mean that we're losing content and we're replacing it with things that don't matter. Things like a roster, things like an open world, things like better graphics. Basically, in turn, we're replacing fun with better performance. Anyways, I'm losing track of what's important here. Budokai 2 gave us a skill fusion mode. That thing was super addicting because first of all, everyone has this idea of like, what would happen if you mix 30 moves together? And the answers are so obvious that even the developers, you could tell, had fun with this experience. And lastly, who could forget something that separates this game from the other Budokai trilogy? Babadi's spaceship mode. And that itself was subdivided into 3 different categories, just like it had 3 different layers in the anime. The first layer, you had to kill as many people as you could. The second one is survive for as long as you could. And the third one was just key deflection. So let's recap what this game actually has, just to embarrass modern gaming right now. Firstly, it had a story mode. Secondly, a player versus computer, player versus player mode. Thirdly, it had a world tournament. Secondly, it had a capsule/technique mode. And last, it had a spaceship mode. So much content in a PS2 game. This is why Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2 was my most played Dragon Ball Z game in my gaming journey. And I've played a lot of games, and I've definitely played a lot of Dragon Ball Z games. So that should tell you something. Quick review today. I really just wanted to talk about Budokai 2. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow along my journey. I will be having bigger plans for this channel, so stay tuned for that.